Yikes.
Hey, yo, guys, what's poppin'? It's your boy Keanan Allstott. That's Luke Parrish, and you are back with us here on Around the Leagues, the #1 podcast for people who show up late and leave that sumbitch early. Minimal effort. Nobody doing the extra heavy lifting around here. Look what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying about being late. So, as you see, it's dark out. We planned this. I mean, we've been late, 4 weeks in a row at this point? We planned this today.
Baby.
He texts me. He's like, hey, just sometime, basically just not in the morning, and I'll be fine. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Usually, if I know we're doing a podcast on a Thursday, I'll make sure I get all my work done for that day because usually we do it early. That takes an hour or two. Then I get everything uploaded, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to have too much on my plate, right? Well, he texts me. He's like, we can't do it in the morning. I'm like, that's fine. I forgot to set an alarm. I wake up at noon anyway. I'm like, oh, shit. So I get up, I get some work done, and then I'm like, hey, all right, I'm done. We can do it whenever. He's like, he's like, just give me like a little bit. I got to charge my phone. I'm like, all right, that shouldn't take long. Lo and behold, it can in fact take a while. I'm sitting here after about 2 hours. I'm like, all right, where the hell is this dude? Apparently he needed his beauty sleep, and that didn't work out either. Fell asleep. Now it's, I don't know, midnight it feels like. I don't know, it's like 6 o'clock Eastern or something. We're finally getting this show on the road. Kickoff's going to be soon, so that's good. We get to take this right up into kick. But other than that, yeah, we're here.
all right, we got to clarify some stuff here, all right? So, if those of y'all this morning, semester ended yesterday, right? And so it was like, I'm a little tired, a little fatigued, a little drugged down. And so I hit my homeboy Kane up, and I'm like, hey, yo, Kane, it'd be kind of cool today. And he was like, no. I said, okay, well, calm down.
Being on time for something?
Well, so funny story on that, too. I hit his phone, and I'm like, hey, man, you want to go disc golfing? Because we like disc golf from time to time. And he's like, it's December. I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we go disc golfing today. I was late to that, by the way. We were supposed to leave at like 9:30. I got to his house at like 10:15. so
Yikes.
So I get home like I don't know about 2:30 Eastern or 2:30 Central. And I'm like, I just need to charge my phone up a little bit. It'll be fine. So I throw that thing on the charger. As soon as I got in a moment, out like a light switch. Sitting there, and then I wake up and I see my dad's home from work, and I'm like, hold on. Set the phone. It's fully charged. We're good. Give me 15 minutes, Luke.
Hey, but we made it. We're here,
Hey, so, we do this for you, all right? We may not always be on time, but better late than never. Am I right? Am I right, though? I kind of am.
Hey, and I guess as a reward for always being late, we're going to throw in a second episode between this week and next. I think we're shooting for Monday. We're going to be having a NBA preview type thing, similar to like what I did with soccer back a couple months ago. If you guys don't know, I run the 8.9 seconds blog, their social media, stuff like that, which is part of Fansided. And one of my writers, Rhett, he's going to be joining us, talking some Pacers. Obviously, it's a good week, too, because it'll be Pacers-Knicks later that week to kick off the NBA season. So Keenan's a Knicks fan. We can kind of talk about that a little bit more. I know we kind of already shit on him a little bit for that, but we'll have some basketball talks. We'll try to stay away from that a little bit today to keep us from repeating ourselves. But yeah, basketball season.
Yeah. And I think we got that scheduled for Monday morning, so hopefully that gets uploaded by Tuesday afternoon. We'll make sure to get it up for you. But yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff on Monday. Make sure you check that show out, Rhett, first time guy on the show. It'll be a whole lot of fun. We'll shit on the Knicks a little bit. And their newest signing, Scala Bissiere. Okay? I'm just saying, that might be what gets us over the top. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is a power forward. So.
Yeah, I mean, can he play the 4? That's all I need to know.
I think that's all he can do. I want to say, since we're already on the topic of basketball, Indiana, listen, football school, we know it. Big Ten ACC Challenge. They get Florida State. Good game. This is what we get. That's my problem with Indiana. They love just falling asleep at the wheel. They're on the road. They're going to win. They have a chance to put away a top 20 team, kind of get some recognition. And they go like 7 minutes between the regulation and overtime without a bucket. I don't know how Indiana, like you're in Indiana, right? How do you not recruit anybody that can shoot?
Yeah.
You've got Trace putting up 25 and 15 every night, and the team can barely scrape by. Archie's got to go.
Yeah. I was going to say, imagine taking the over 135 and needing a basket at the end of overtime.
Rough.
Got to be pretty rough. But no.
Yeah, IU basketball's a mess.
You know, they both started, and then in overtime, Indiana scores like the first 3 of the game. Looked like they were gonna, think they put their track shoes on finally. Boy, did they step in cement.
Yeah,
they couldn't find any kind of rhythm going down the floor.
No, they just sloppy. The end of regulation, they got that. They stole the inbounds pass, called timeout. Ref didn't give them the timeout, ended up giving the ball back to Florida State, and then they missed a shot and went to overtime. But Indiana's just sloppy. That's how they've been for the past 5-10 years. They just no rhythm on offense, can't knock down shots, can't shoot for the life of them, and and we'll see it. They'll go out and they'll beat Michigan State by 30, and then they'll turn around the next night and get blown out by Northwestern. I mean, It's just you don't get a lot. But staying in the Big Ten, just real quick, sad week in Big Ten football.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Indiana and Northwestern, well,
yeah. I mean, Michigan, Ohio State canceled. Biggest game of the year in the conference. Obviously, it's a big money maker. Indiana, Purdue is canceled. And Ohio State was basically given the Big Ten East, which they weren't going to lose it. There was no way they could have lost it because they were undefeated at the time being. But still, I don't understand the Big Ten's ruling of here's the requirement you have to hit, and then as soon as Ohio State doesn't reach it, they're like, well, we'll change it because it was Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the best team, but they didn't meet the requirement. You can't make the requirement if it's not going to matter. That's the only problem.
That really kind of, I don't know, it left a sour taste in my mouth because it was like, I mean, how do I even want to put this? Would they have done the same if it was Indiana that was 5-0?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Like, Ohio State was the best team. They do deserve to play for the conference title, but it sucks because of the way things went down. They had to change their ruling, and it's going to throw Northwestern gets in the Big Ten title game, and they're going to probably not get the extra week of rest. They're going to have to play, I think, Illinois this weekend. Mm-hmm. Indiana is going to be. They had to cancel their game. They're going to go 6-1, have a really good resume, and they're not going to get to play really any of the top teams in the country now because there's going to get no Big Ten championship experience. They're not going to get a Big Ten title or anything like that. So they're kind of fish out of the water at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because you have a team that kind of did everything right, everything they were supposed to. In both Ohio State and Indiana, neither one of those teams, I mean, all the games that they got canceled were because of their opponents, if I recall.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't make it a mandatory minimum if what's good for somebody has to be good for somebody else. I'm just
right. And it's not mandatory. If it literally wasn't mandatory, it ended up not mattering. But
sure,
it's a weird situation, obviously. And I think that's what's even tricky is like, I mean, I got into some people on Twitter, but I am an Ohio State fan. Like, they're my team. If I had to pick one team to go win the national championship every year, it's going to be Ohio State. Because obviously that's not going to be realistic for a team like Indiana. And we saw that this year. They can be really good. They're just not going to be one step
really good.
Right. And I think Ohio State still can win the Natty this year. I think their team is incredibly talented, but it would have been so fun to see Indiana. Show their defense is on par with Ohio State, with Alabama, with Cincinnati, and with Florida and Clemson. Very good defense, and they won't get to flash it. But Maybe
well,
they'll
let's talk
get
about
him.
that since you brought it up. Cincinnati, goodness gracious. We've been leading that bandwagon for several weeks now, and it just doesn't look like get
It's
enough
not.
people
Yeah, it's
on the
not going to
train.
happen.
And,
Nah, I think A&M or Florida or Ohio State's going to get that last spot regardless. So
well, even Iowa State jumped Cincinnati. Like,
Iowa State sucks. I'll say it.
like
Iowa
I don't
State's not good.
like I don't see. Uh, I really under the current 14 format, and I like the 14 format. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's really hard for a mid-major, non-Power 5 conference school to make it into the top four in that format. You saw it years ago with TCU, who was undefeated, the 3 seed, goes out, wins their game final week of the year, 58-0 or whatever it was, and then gets bounced to 5.
Yeah.
You've seen it with Boise State. You've seen it with UCF. You're seeing it this year with Cincinnati. It's just
Where did Coastal Carolina end up?
I didn't see, but they came
I
into
didn't
the
see it
weekend.
either.
They came into the weekend like 18, and they beat BYU on short notice, by the way, who was like 14 or 15. So I assume they had to go up into the top 15.
I would assume, yeah.
It would be pretty asinine. But then again, Indiana beats a ranked Wisconsin team as 13.5-point dog on the road, and then they don't even move a spot.
Didn't even move, yeah. There was just no respect. Like, I just don't know, like, a team like Indiana, what are they supposed to do? They did what you asked them. They were expected to get blown out by Ohio State, and they only lost by 7. They were 21-point underdogs, I believe, at kickoff.
Sure.
Losing by 7's a win in my book if the media doesn't even think you have a shot.
Sure.
So, obviously, it's a tough.
And I think it's pretty widely accepted at this point that Indiana was the better team that day.
Yeah.
Ohio State didn't beat the Hoosiers. The Hoosiers beat the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take away the fumble near the goal line, if you take away the pick six, I mean, Indiana either left so many points on the board or just gave Ohio State points. If that doesn't happen, Indiana is probably undefeated, top 5 in the nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if Indiana does pull off that win, I think they're unquestionably the number 4 team in the country right now. It'd be interesting to see what that spread would have been against Wisconsin instead of it being 12.5. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they're out. I believe they are still like the 6th highest odds to make the playoff. I think they're right behind Florida at 5. So
that, Indiana?
Indiana, yeah.
Really?
They were at like 37% chance, which is I don't think it's going to be the same once Ohio State gets to actually play their championship game. But Ohio State's probably going to smack Northwestern. And if Northwestern beats Ohio State, they're not getting into the playoff. So I don't know who's going to take that final spot.
Well, it's really frustrating because it's like you have teams like Indiana, Cincinnati, BYU, Coastal Carolina. The list goes on and on. What are these teams supposed to do? I mean, just literally, like, what do you want them to do? They go out there and win these games by double digits. They go on the road and they have impressive performances. They overcome all these odds, and then you give them literally no credit for it. I mean, if you're gonna have if it's just gonna be a Power 5 blue blood tournament, make it that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess there's something to be said to making it an 18 playoff. I'm not as big. I would be more of a fan of a 16 playoff than an 18 playoff, with a caveat that if a non-Power 5 school in the top 15, that team gets in. I would be cool with that. But like, man, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, like, there is Indiana, Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina. That's 3 teams right there fighting for one spot. Nobody's taking Alabama's spot.
Nope.
Notre Dame's going to be locked in unless they get blown out by Clemson. Clemson's going to be locked in as long as they beat Notre Dame in the ACC title, and rightfully so. Their one loss is Notre Dame, and they did that with about like half their defense, and I mean, I don't know, the best quarterback in college football. So Clemson, I think, is in, and now you have to say who deserves the final spot more: Ohio State, Cincinnati, Indiana, Coastal Carolina. The answer is Ohio State. that's why having a 14 playoff is so tough, because somebody's always going to be slighted, because especially this year when there's like hardly any conference or non-conference play, you don't really get to prove yourself. So all the conference winners could very well go undefeated.
Yeah, and it's just it's frustrating, right? Because it's like year after year, you get these teams like UCF or Cincinnati or whatever, Houston, that play in like the Peach Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl or whatever it is, and then it's like they play these schools that like an LSU years ago or an Auburn or whatever, teams that just they got shorted out of the college football playoff, and then they look at these teams like Cincinnati or whatever, and they're like, we get to play these guys, like that's our season. Like, and so it just, I don't know. I it's unfortunate. It's kind of two extreme ends of the spectrum, right? You have college football, who only the very elite of the elite make it, and it's almost unfair. And then you have college basketball, where literally everyone and their grandmother makes it, and then it kind of waters down the whole regular season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what you do there.
Yeah, it's interesting how they would. I mean, I don't really have any sort of solution of how they could fix it either. Just because you can't have like a 16-team playoff, because then you're just asking these college kids to play an extra 4 games against elite talent that, I mean, it's going to be hard to even keep up with. So
yeah, you can't do that. Granted, it would generate a hell of a lot of money, but you're putting these kids through hell, especially around time of finals and Christmas and stuff. It's like, at least in the current system, like the kids get oh shit. Looks like we might be dealing with the dead battery here soon, folks. This is live, by the way. What was I saying? In today's structure, you don't have to deal with finals or Christmas or anything like that. In a format like that, you would. So I don't know.
It's just a very slippery slope in terms of scheduling and all that kind of stuff, especially at a year like this where we don't even know who's playing who on a weekly basis. We're figuring it out Tuesday who's playing. I mean, Ohio State has been rumored to play Oklahoma and Texas A&M in the past like 24 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. Which if it did, it'd be awesome, but it's just not realistic. But staying with football, like we usually do, we got our weekly picks.
Yeah.
Keanan's in the dark. Damn
battery dies. Again, folks, when you're late, this is what happens.
That's just karma coming back. I mean, they don't need to see you; they just need to hear you.
All right. Well, let's keep it going.
All right.
Hopefully, the light for my truck is sufficient.
That should be good. I don't see any qualms. Last week in our picks, NFL picks, obviously, Keanan 5-1 on the money line, 3-3 against the spread, hit his lock. I went 3-3 on the money line, 4-2 against the spread, and I hit my lock. Psych, we had the same lock. Keenan's got a 2-game lead in the money line. I've got a half a game lead on the on the spread. And lock, we're just not going to talk about. It's not close. But we're coming into week 14. This bounce back. But hey, it's Thursday Night Football tonight. Hey, that's how that works. I think it's Patriots at Rams, I believe. Rams 4.5-point favorites coming in. Who do you got?
All right, Thursday Night Football, Los Angeles, New England. New England, dog shit team, no talent whatsoever, against the mighty LA Rams, the team that could beat any team in the NFC East tonight. I think they go to the AFC East. I think they lay the hammer down on the boys from New England. Give me Los Angeles 28-22, hitting the over of 43.5. Should be a good game.
Yeah, you really sold it like a good game. I agree. I've also got Rams minus 4.5. I've got them winning at 34-24. Really do like the Rams, and the Patriots are going from an East Coast, playing in the East Coast, or playing Thursday night short week on the West Coast. And we talked about this, remember, a couple weeks ago, talking about somebody traveling to the East to play a 1 o'clock game.
I think it was Los Angeles against Miami, wasn't it?
It might have been. And we're talking about how that was going to be tricky. Hey, Raiders went to the Jets at 1 o'clock, and they barely got by the 0-11 Jets. It's tough traveling 3 time zones.
Sure.
Now imagine doing it backwards and playing it on a short week. It's going to be tough for New England. Give me the Rams and the points.
I get you.
Easy money.
Yeah, I agree.
What?
Monday Night Football. Baltimore. Cleveland 2-point dogs. Who you got in that one, Luke?
Well, I got the Ravens at a pick'em, which, hey, I'll take the -2 too. -2 is tricky. I've got the Ravens 23. Their offense finally looked back against Dallas, which albeit it was against Dallas, but it'll be a good game. The Ravens are fighting for their lives, I think, right now, just trying to get back into the playoffs. Browns, up and down team, but when they're up, they're up. And I think the only way to beat them is to run. Tennessee couldn't establish the run against them on Sunday. Give me Baltimore, get their ground going again, let Lamar Jackson kind of cook. And use J.K. Dobbins, please. Just use Dobbins all night. Don't give it to Mark Ingram for 2 yards in the first quarter and then stray from it.
He's not saying that because he has Mark Ingram on his fantasy team, folks. He is very genuine when he says that.
I actually do have Mark Ingram, and I don't want him to get the ball. So the Ravens' offense is just way better with Dobbins. Edwards is okay. Dobbins gives you size and speed. Lamar Jackson gives you speed. Use them. Don't give it to Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram hasn't been himself since like week 3. So
sure. So for this one, make sure look at me. Anyway, Cleveland, good team. Baltimore, bad team. That makes it pretty easy for me, folks. Cleveland wins this game outright. Tell your bookie, keep the points. You're taking the money line. Cleveland 28-24 over a 40. Cleveland, this is all of a sudden they got a chance in the AFC North, and in order to win that division, they got to win out. And I think with Pittsburgh losing last week and proving to the world that they are the fraud that we thought they were, and they play a Buffalo team this week who, spoiler alert, I am picking later this week, or later this episode. Cleveland's got a very real shot to win this game. They play each other week 17. You're going to see a very motivated Cleveland team on Monday night. Cleveland should win this one outright. The fact that they are home underdogs disgusts me. I am appalled. There is nothing I find more revolting in this world than Cleveland being underdogs to Baltimore. Somebody fix that. Go hit that Cleveland money line and bank account great again. Shouts out Colby Covington. Over 47.
I know you didn't just say that the Ravens are a bad team.
I'll
let it slide. Dude, they're like
No, I'll double down on that. The Ravens are a bad team.
Hey, 7-5 in a tough division ain't bad.
They aren't making the playoffs.
No, they might not, but because the AFC is loaded.
Yeah, well, I mean, good is relative. Let's get that right, all right? Good is not objective. Good is subjective. And when you have a whole bunch of better teams around you, you're not that good, Jack. There's a reason why Washington might be the best team in the NFC right now, and it's not because they got a bunch of they got a bunch of wins on their resume. No, it's because they play in a dog shit division. And
I'm just saying, if Baltimore wins this week and another one of my picks goes my way, guess what? Ravens are right back in the playoffs. So keep that in mind, brother. They're right there. They're right there. I still like Baltimore. They've they've struggled with their offensive line. Obviously, they lose Marshall Yanda. He retires before the season. Like Ronnie Stanley, they signed to an extension, and then he immediately blows out at his ankle, I believe. He's out for the year. No stability up front anymore. That's kind of hurt them, but I still think that they've got a good enough defense. They can force enough turnovers to give themselves a chance. Where are you taking Game 3? Hang on. Do we have any other ones that we? Yeah, we've got one more that we picked together.
All right, let's do it.
I don't even know what day this is, but Washington is playing the Niners.
Okay. So let me go ahead and tell you this right here. Washington is for real. Washington is winning the NFC East, and they're going to do it by beating the San Francisco 49ers outright this week. They're 3.5-point dogs. You bet that Washington money line, 26-21, hitting the over of 43.5. Washington right now, they've got all the momentum. They're 4-0 in their last 4. They're just sitting here smacking Fultz left and right. They are beating shit down the legs of their competition. They went out last week and they beat a very fraudulent Pittsburgh team, a team that's probably the worst 11-0 team that I can ever remember. And I sat through the Peyton Manning Colts 11-0 teams, okay? That's right. Washington, very good defense. I think they've got some kind of spark under Alex Smith. I don't know what it is. Maybe he sold his soul when he hurt his. I don't know. Hey, shouts out to Alex Smith. I said he's going to be comeback player of the year. We're just doing this for entertainment. You're supposed to go, ha ha, that's funny. And then we move on to the next show. Anyway, Washington, 26-21. Hit that money line. 26-20.
Yeah, it's funny you do say that because I was going to say, I wrote this down earlier. Before the year, or before Smith started, even after I think it was his first game, I had Cam Newton tabbed as the comeback player of the year because he didn't play basically the last 2 seasons with injury. Came back, looked very good early, then he got hit with COVID, didn't really perform well. Alex Smith doesn't deserve this award just because he played. He's actually earned it. He's played very well given his situation. He's wearing a boot that basically keeps him from getting drop foot, which, holy shit, I wouldn't even be able to walk. This dude's out here slinging it.
So.
I mean, slinging it's a bit of a stretch. He's throwing it 3 yards down the field. But did you see his sock last week?
Yeah, bloody as hell.
Gross. Made Kurt Schilling look a pussy. Washington, their defense is really good. Secondary's played much better than I expected. Obviously, their front seven's elite. They don't have Antonio Gibson this week, though, I don't think. I don't trust J.D. McKissick to do anything. Give me the Niners -3. Niners need it. They need to get back in the hunt somehow, some way. If they lose this game, their season's over. Shanahan's going against one of his former teams. He's got to find a way to scheme it up. I don't know, man. Nick Mullins versus Alex Smith just does not excite me whatsoever. I got Niners 30-21. Not really excited about that one, nor am I optimistic that I'm going to be accurate, but
I understand.
Got to take bets if you want to win bets, you know?
I understand. My 4th game of the week, my Philadelphia Eagles play at home against your New Orleans Saints.
My?
Yeah, that's your favorite team.
Oh, fuck out of here.
You can't stop talking about them. You know everything about them, in and out.
I know a lot about every team, though, to be honest.
So, Philadelphia 6.5-point dogs. Just like I am right now, Philadelphia's season gets left in the dark come Sunday afternoon. Jalen Hurts is starting. Who gives a shit? That team is bad. They know they're bad. They can't do anything to stop being bad. On the other hand, New Orleans is good. They don't know anything other than how to be good. Taysom Hill seems like he can beat the Eagles if he can beat the Falcons and whoever else he beat the Broncos. This should be a walk in the park. I do have Philadelphia covering, though, so let's too far-fetched here. They're going to put up a last gasp effort in their final meaningful game of the year. 21-24, New Orleans wins it. Philadelphia covers. This one hits the over 43. Do not DVR this one. Do not go and find the highlights of this game. There will be none to watch. Philadelphia is bad. New Orleans under Taysom Hill isn't good. And the only reason that you should watch this game is if you have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars riding on it, in which case you are a dumbass and you can send that money to my Venmo and I will provide that link out later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what Hurts can bring. They have to play him because you're looking at a top 5 pick. And if you have a quarterback staring at you, you got to know what you have in Hurts before you make the decision on if you take a quarterback or not. Sure. Saints' run defense is really good, and their pass defense is With Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, I feel like Philly wants to run the ball. That's not playing in their favor whatsoever. So we'll see. Saints run defense is one of the best in the league. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I'll continue to say it, one of the best players in the league that nobody – well, I guess he's starting to get a little bit of recognition now, but one of the most underrated players in the league. Box safety, deep safety, blitzing, slot corner. Wherever you want to put him, he's going to make a play. Saints have a stud. I think he's going to be the difference maker once again. I'm not picking that game, but if I was, I would be taking the Saints pretty handily. My number, what is this, 4? Listen, Tennessee got their dicks kicked in by Cleveland last week, and they get to turn on and play a really bad Jacksonville team to make up for it. They're 7.5-point favorites, and they're going to pummel them. Derrick Henry's back. He didn't get to touch the ball a whole lot last week because of an early fumble. They were down big. Hey, Henry's going to gash them. Tannehill's going to get comfortable. A.J. Brown's going to make more plays. Titans 31-20, easy, hammer it. That's that should have been my lock of the week, but it wasn't.
Nice. So my 5th game of the week, no surprise here, Kansas City -7.5 against Miami. Miami, they're too much of a grab bag for me, and Kansas City should be super motivated now that Pittsburgh finally does have a loss. Kansas City's in the driver's seat to not only take the number 1 seed in the AFC, but just win the Super Bowl. Their head, shoulders, maybe even the whole torso above the rest of the NFL. I mean, goodness gracious. Even when they're bad, they're still probably 10 times better than the rest of the NFL. Kansas City -7.5 on the road feels like a gimme. 34-21, Kansas City wins this game. They're going to put their pedal to the metal, and they're going to try to go get that bye. Because if Pittsburgh has to play in the wild card weekend, they would have no bye between week 4 and the Super Bowl, and you're just not running the table with that kind of stuff. No. Give me Kansas City. They're just going to – if you're playing them at all the rest of this year, look out. This one's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly quickly.
Is this one – you say it's in Miami?
I believe so.
That is interesting because of weather. It will be interesting to see how teams are going to play. I mean, I don't know how cold it is in Kansas City right now, but then having to go and play in Miami. I know the Vikings. Adam Thielen was on Pat McAfee, I believe yesterday, and he was talking about his first time playing in Miami was in December, and he said he could barely breathe after the first drive because you're so used to being up there in Minnesota practicing in the cold, and then you're going out there and it's 90 degrees and humid, and it's almost Christmas time. And they're in Tampa Bay this week, so that's going to be tough for them again. But, yeah. Chiefs, undeniably best team in the league. Super Bowl favorites by a mile. I'm never picking against Pat Mahomes. That's just a given. My number 5, big game for playoff implications, and I kind of alluded to it earlier. Indianapolis Colts on the road in Vegas against the Raiders. The Raiders, man, I don't know if they're good or not. I don't know what to think of them. I don't know if Derek Carr's gotten better this year. I don't know if Josh Jacobs is even going to play this week, but if he does, hey, they're going to kill the Colts. He makes their offense go. It's tough to win in Vegas. We've seen that already this year. Kansas City went there and struggled a little bit. Saints went there and struggled. I believe they else early in the year that was a big favorite. So it might play a huge advantage to them. They need this win in order to jump the Colts in the playoffs. Plus, it gives them the tiebreaker, obviously, the head-to-head. Give me the Raiders +3 and winning outright, 30-23. Make Phillip Rivers struggle his first time back against his former foes.
So, I mean, let's just say right now, if Baltimore, by an act of God, does end up making the playoffs and Las Vegas doesn't, Kansas City would be getting a big break because let's just say Kansas City gets the 2 seed and they play Las Vegas that first weekend. That's a stylistic matchup that might send Kansas City going home. If Kansas City wants to defend their title, they need to avoid Las Vegas because Las Vegas has the blueprint. And they are the only team this year that's hung an L on Kansas City. And they almost did it twice.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because their toughest game of the year, the Kansas City had, they lost. And then the second toughest game of the year, they only won because they had the ball last. Like, I don't know. Well, shit. Oh, thank God we got light back. Okay, I thought the battery went dead in this truck too, and I'd be like, "Fuck, that's a second time." That's one for the real ones. My lock of the week. My lock of the week is I alluded to this earlier. Sunday night football. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Buffalo -2-point favorites. Pittsburgh is fraudulent, and Buffalo is also fraudulent, but they're a lot better. Give me Buffalo 35-20, hitting the over of 48. This shit should be a wrap. Let me tell you. Buffalo, they came out last week. They looked really good. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, did not look very good. Pittsburgh cannot run the ball. And I just, eventually you play 12 weeks in a row, and your offense is not going to look good. Your defense is going to get worn down. You're playing a Josh Allen who is very confident right now. Stephon Diggs looks really good. I don't know. This one. How do you see that one going?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Buffalo's running the wave right now. Obviously, they've been hot lately. Josh Allen was almost perfect against San Francisco. It's just a matter of, does Pittsburgh bounce back from getting their asses chewed because they basically came out shit the bed against Baltimore, and Squawk went out against a practice squad and then went out and lost to Washington. I think the Bills do win. I think it'll be closer, but I think Pittsburgh has to they just have to show up, and if they don't, their season's in jeopardy. I mean, nobody's going to take them seriously. So
Sure.
Yeah, give me Buffalo, but at least it'll be a good game. That'll probably be the game of the week, which is why it's on NBC. So
sure,
can't be mad at that.
Sure. Your lock of the week, not that it matters, but what
yeah, my lock of the week. Speaking of lock, I forgot to make this. I put it I chose it right before we started.
Can't confirm.
The Panthers play the Broncos, and Drew Lock has not been good. Okay, I thought he was going to be the next superstar coming into this season. Listen, this is the life of an NFL scout. Well, not really a scout, more of like a wannabe scout, right? Pre-draft process, didn't like Drew Lock. Didn't grade him high. I did not have him in the first round. Thought it was like a late round 2, early round 3 pick. Plays 5 games his rookie year. I feel like he's all right. I watch his tape. Damn, this kid's going to be really good. Gets hurt early in the year, struggles, comes back, has not been good at all. Broncos are not nearly the team I thought they would be. Panthers have a really tough young defense who can force turnovers and get after the quarterback, and they're going to do that. Panthers -3, 27-20, easy. They're going to get to Lock. They're going to force turnovers. They're going to make him panic there at the end. I think that's where they're going to pull away. But, man, I feel like the Panthers are going to actually just dominate this game start to finish. So, given that it's my lock, it's not going to happen.
Now, I know what you're saying. Like, Keanan, why is it really dark? Why is the camera moving? What's going on? Well, Keanan went and grabbed another battery for the wedge light. So that way I don't have to come out here in the cold-ass morning and jump start my truck. So, again, this is live. We do this one take, ladies and gentlemen. You should honestly thank us.
That is true.
So hold on. Continue talking while I make my face illuminated once again for the people.
Yeah. So
If there's one thing people watch this show for, it's because of my face. You know.
I would hastily argue that. I mean, yeah, my picks this week are dog shit. They're not going to work out in my favor. They never have, never. And Keanan's back, so if you guys would need to go throw up, you can. Damn, it's Bulls. You picked your team again this week. I've been trying to stay away from the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, whenever the Eagles just make you so much money, it's hard to get away from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Hey, Jalen Reagor got it. Was this his first touchdown?
I think so, and it came on the punt.
Yeah. Imagine taking him over Justin Jefferson, though.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be my team. Couldn't be mine.
Justin Jefferson, hey. Rookie of the Year is all his at this point.
I don't know about that. Chase Claypool might have something to say about that.
No.
Okay, never mind. Chase Claypool has nothing to say.
I think Claypool's got him on touchdowns, but Jefferson's about to break the rookie record for receiving yards.
Does Justin Jefferson have a nickname, though?
Yeah.
What?
Jet. Oh, did I lose you?
Yeah. I mean, what's his nickname?
Jetta, Jets, all the above.
Okay, that's not nearly as cool as Mapletron. Okay, cool nicknames win awards. That's all I'm saying.
Not true. I mean, Claypool's had a very good year. Don't get me wrong. He's got, like 12 touchdowns or something like that, which is impressive to do, especially as a rookie. Jefferson's just on pace to break rookie receiving record. He's got, like, 18 yards a catch. The Vikings offense does not go without him. Herbert had it in the bag. He's just sucked the last 2 weeks, which is fine. You expect that from a rookie quarterback. They're going to have their trials and triumphs. I don't know the fucking phrase.
Trials and tribulations.
Sure, that. And I just think Jefferson's been so good, so far above the competition. Week in, week out, he's making plays. And I mean, he's the number one weapon in the passing game for Minnesota. So, and hey, Kirk Cousins, best fourth quarter quarterback in the league this year. Look up the numbers.
Although,
hey, he's also
seem like they could be a playoff team.
Since 2015, Kirk Cousins leads the NFL in games with 300 yards, 3 tutties, and no picks. Hey, I hear Canton calling. My phone's ringing. Uh-oh. It's got a Canton ID.
Let me shake that one off here for a second.
No, the Vikings are back in the playoff hunt. I don't know if they're going to get in. They've got a tough slate. I think they've got Tampa, Detroit, New Orleans, and Chicago to end it. So not looking favorable for them. They'll beat the Saints on Christmas because that's just what we do. Other than that, hey, we can go 7-9. I don't care. Beat the Saints on Christmas, ruin their day.
Fire YouTube channel, by the way. You ruin your day. Shouts out to ruin your day, RYD. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all of our football stuff this week. Couple other things I just want to touch on before we close the show here. Like we said, catch all of our basketball stuff on Monday, special edition of the podcast. We haven't had a special guest on here in months, so that'll be really fun for you guys. Make sure you check that out. Something else, hockey's back. They approved a 52-game schedule, I believe, earlier this week. ESPN hates hockey, and whenever they showed their graphic of proposed division realignment, they left the Flyers out because they don't think the Flyers exist. Gritty called my phone, and he's pissed. And ESPN is a... Say what?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, ESPN, you're getting marked out, okay? Don't disrespect Gritty like that. Now, something that I think is going to be fire, as you see me playing Milwaukee M12 red lithium battery. Shouts out to Milwaukee. That's who this show's brought by tonight, by the way, is Milwaukee and their Wedgelite and batteries. The all-Canadian division in the NHL, that is going to be fire. Obviously,
Yeah.
they can't cross the border, yada, yada, yada. An all-Canadian division where they just play each other for 50 games, fire. Big fan of that.
Yeah. Who wins it?
So if I'm power ranking the Canadian division, I would go Edmonton first, just because I don't think you're topping a line that has Draisaitl and McDavid on it. Second, I got Toronto. Toronto's just they got so much talent that it's hard to. I mean, they got Tavares, they got Mitch. Son of a try that again. They got Tavares, they got Mitch Marner, they got Austin, they got Mikko Lehtinen, who doesn't even have a spot on the roster right now. They got Nick Robertson, who made big dividends in the playoffs last year. They added Joe Thornton, Wayne Simmons. They added TJ Brody on the blue line. They still got Morgan Riley, Jake Muzzin back there. That'll be interesting. Not Nylander's on there, and they still got Freddie and goal. I mean, they've got so much talent. The problem is that they had like no grit, and by adding Thornton and Simmons, I think that's going to add a little bit more grit to their team. I think they led the league last year in goals scored, but the problem is they couldn't stop a nosebleed. So unless they were winning 5-4, you're not winning any games there in Toronto. So hopefully they got a little bit better defensively. They didn't get Pietrangelo. We detailed that earlier this summer. I think I got Toronto at 2. Third team, this is where it starts getting a little bit more interesting. I got Vancouver, third best team in the Canadian division. Vancouver, obviously, they were the last Canadian team eliminated last August or whatever it was. Demko, great goalie. And then what else would it go? I had Winnipeg, I'd go Edmonton, Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Calgary, Montreal, and then Ottawa would be my power ranking the Canadian division. The thing with the Canadian division, every division's either really good or got a lot better. And so that's going to be a lot of fun if those teams are just going to sit there beating the shit out of each other. And something else I saw proposed, this is just a rumor, cannot confirm this here on the podcast. There's talk of the Canadian teams playing each other until the semifinals of the playoffs. And so one Canadian team would be guaranteed a Final Four spot. And holy cow, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I am all for it. Because, I mean, essentially what you would have 4 of the 7 Canadian teams making it in, with one of the teams being guaranteed in the Final Four. And I mean, you have Edmonton, who had a choke job last year against Chicago. You had Toronto, who choked away Game 5 against Columbus. Winnipeg, who's really good. Vancouver, who's really, really good. Calgary's getting better. It's just, man, that could be a dogfight if that's how they decide to do it. I'm here.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Go Rangers.
Hey, did you see Forbes had them listed as the most valuable franchise in the NHL?
I did not, but I believe it, dude.
Yeah.
They got that one guy.
Lafreniere might make some big dividends this year. I hope he gets to see significant playing time.
Yeah. But I agree. I mean, I've watched this guy zig and zag his way through the ranks. He's just good, you know.
What league did he play in before he was in the NHL?
The CYHL.
No.
What was he in?
Quebec Men's Junior Hockey League.
Oh, so I was going for a Canadian Youth Hockey League. I was close.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's not the CHL, the OHL, or the QMJHL, but I guess you right.
Yeah, I mean, I basically nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good, obviously. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hockey being back. The Rangers are going to be a lot of fun this year, dude, with Zemedjad and Artemi Panarin, Lafreniere. That team's going to be dangerous this year, dude. That team could I don't know who would all be in their division or whatever, but they have to be candidates to win their division this year.
Probably going to win the Stanley Cup, to be honest.
You think so?
I mean, what I know from hockey is that it's very easy to go worst to first. So they
Shouts out
will.
St. Louis.
I'll say it. I'll go on record right now. New York Rangers don't lose a game in 2021.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
Check back in July, whenever the hell they're finishing up their season.
Oh shoot! As someone who roots for a James Dolan-owned team, let me tell you, you are in for a lot of disappointment, my friend.
I can't be disappointed if I don't keep up with it.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true. That's very true.
Stay away. Stay at a distance.
Another thing that's happening this weekend. Got some big title fights. Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. Those two fought 3 weeks ago for us. Figueiredo, give me him by like second round knockout. Figueiredo, that dude's he's not Mighty Mouse good. He might be Cejudo good, but dude's gonna run 125 for quite a while. Also, boxing, 3 heavyweight belts on the line. Anthony Joshua fights I forget his first name, last name Polev. Anthony Joshua, unless he suffers the same fate he did against Ruiz. This one should be a walk in the park. Give me Joshua probably by like 6th or 7th round knockout. Should be embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yep.
That's all. I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got much else. I think basketball, I've got nothing really else except for, James Harden. Is he going to be on the Rockets opening night? We'll find out soon.
And we're gonna talk about how Trevor Bauer signed with the Yankees.
He hasn't done it yet, so no.
Okay, well, I guess we'll check in next week because we might talk about that.
I heard that the Angels are high on him, which obviously they should be. He's the best pitcher in baseball last year. But are the Angels going to build a team around Trout?
Say what?
Are the Angels actually going to try to build a team around Mike Trout?
No, they're going to waste that $400 million contract.
Damn straight.
Obviously. No, if Trevor Bauer signs with Toronto, look out. That team's going to be scary good, dude. Vlad Jr. in the lineup. You got Hyunjin Ryu and Bauer starting up there. They got a lot of good pieces up there, dude. I think they got Teoscar Hernandez up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, that team would be scary good with
Bichette and Biggio.
Yeah. And it's like, they made the playoffs this year in the expanded format, and Ryu got knocked up pretty good in the Tampa series, but that team could put up some numbers, dude. Especially if they had another starting pitcher to kind of give Ryu some support. I mean, that would be kind of crazy. And I thought Ryu had a down year last year, and he was still a Cy Young finalist.
Yeah.
That's how good that guy is,
Where do you think Blake Snell ends up?
I don't think he goes back to Tampa Bay because I think Tampa Bay is going to ask for too much money, or going to want him to take a lot less money than what he wants. Blake Snell, that's a good question, man. It really depends on who's willing to spend. If the Mets are willing to spend on him, I could see him going to the Mets. The Mets would have a killer starting lineup, one that would rival the Dodgers if they got Snell on there, or if they got Trevor Bauer. If Trevor Bauer goes to the Mets, if he goes to the Queens, dude, look out.
Yeah. They'll be getting Stroman back. They get maybe Syndergaard. Yeah.
He'd be the 4 in that starting lineup.
Because you have what?
Starting rotation.
You got DeGrom, whoever they would add if it's Bauer or Snell.
Yeah.
Syndergaard will be back, hopefully.
I believe so.
And then you'll have Stroman and I don't know who their 5 is. They just signed somebody the other day. I've been Robbie Ray. I can't remember. Not Robbie.
And if Robbie Ray is your 5, you're in good hands.
Yeah, okay? You're very well off.
Because there's a lot of teams in the league who Robbie Ray would probably be their 2. Like, Snell, Syndergaard, and DeGrom are all legitimate ones, and Ray and Stroman are legitimate twos. Like
Yeah.
that starting rotation would be crazy good.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to see it just to see how good a just pure pitching can take a team, how far they can go, but
Sure.
we might not ever know. Cubs aren't going to do anything. They're probably going to trade. Probably going to move off their core assets, I think, at the end of the day. So
well, I was going to say, and something that New York is, and not the Yankees, but the Mets, something that they're doing right is that they're focusing on starting pitching, right? Because we've seen if you go to the Bronx, the relief pitching can't take you that far.
right.
Kansas City is far more the outlier than the rule when they won the World Series back in 2015. They did that almost strictly off bullpen. There's so much offensive talent in the game today that these guys, if they only need to see you once, I mean, they can get you out of there pretty quickly. You know what I mean? And I mean, even the Yankees, they added Cole, but they just had nobody else.
Right.
And when you turn the ball, Chad Green, Adam Ottavino, I'm blanking on the rest of their line, and then you give the ball to Chapman. Chapman's not invincible. I mean, Chapman gives up the home run to what's his name? Kid from
Altuve?
Indiana. No. This year against the Rays, the 8th inning home run. Mike Brousseau.
Yeah.
So I mean, he gives up the home run to Brousseau just like he gave up the home run to Altuve. I mean, that's all it takes. I mean, these guys aren't invincible. You need 6-7 innings worth of good pitching day in and day out. That's what the Mets are focusing on. That's what won the Dodgers a World Series. That's what won the Nationals a World Series a couple years ago. So, good on New York, man. They're focusing on the right stuff, and I think they could be for real if they could get one more starting pitcher in there.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of teams need it. I mean, there's a good pitching market out there right now, but it's few and far between. I mean, there's Bauer, there's Snell, Lester, but I don't know. Lester's not going to be a game changer at this point. Did you see the Reds just traded Raisel Iglesias the other day?
I did not.
It was an odd move. I figured they would have. They said it was going to help them, but I feel like, I mean, that's your lone stud out of the bullpen. I don't know why you get rid of him. I think he went to the Angels as well, so we'll see what happens with Bauer. The Cubs just aren't going to do anything impressive. Not going to make any big moves. Except I could see them unloading Bryant or Contreras. I don't think Rizzo's going to. I think he's going to be there for the rest of his career. But they just have too many areas of need, and I mean, they just let Kyle Schwarber walk for no reason. And I mean, there goes your power bat. They let Almora walk. Almora is your best defensive player, at least in the outfield by far. So, never mind. I take that back. I forgot about Jason Hayward existing, but Almora is a very good center fielder on the defensive end. They just don't use his bat. Cubs are in a mess, but they'll never get out of it. I mean, we sat through it for over a century. We can do it again.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Yeah, but hey, I got no other teams to give me any sort of hope, so why bother?
Wait till January when New York doesn't lose again.
That is true. When the Rangers go undefeated, you guys will all be laughing. Bunch of idiots are gonna be like.
Did you hear what I said, or did that cut out?
Something about idiots.
No, I didn't say that.
What'd you say?
I said just wait until January when New York runs 8 months straight of W's like you predicted.
Oh, dude, yeah, they're gonna be elite. Honestly, they're gonna be best, not even best hockey team ever, best pro sports team to ever exist. And you guys are gonna be like, wow, this guy was right. And I'm an oracle, so I'm not. I mean, it's to be expected at this point, but
this is going to become a hockey podcast strictly very, very soon. Don't worry. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
New York goes 14-0 to start the season. You're going to see the clip of New York going undefeated this year, slathered across.
And I'll be leading the charge. Dude, I'm telling you, I know zero about hockey, but I do know one thing, and that's that Alex Lafreniere
Let's go,
is
Lexi. Yeah.
is gonna make the New York Rangers the first undefeated hockey team of all time.
Talk that shit, Luke. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a genius. But yeah, that's all I've got this week.
We should do a watch along of a Rangers game later this year.
I mean, if you want,
We should
I don't
we should
know.
definitely do that.
I mean, I don't have like a Rangers TV package, but I'll figure that.
We'll figure something out, but that's something we should definitely do.
Hell yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I just burped right into the mic. I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, I've got nothing else. I'll save some basketball talk for Monday. Pacers will disappoint. And then yeah, that's about all I got. You got anything else?
I don't. Tell your friends. Make sure they tune in on Monday for the #1 podcast for Alexi Lafreniere fans and for the people who think the Rangers are going undefeated next year. Tell them your boys Keanan and Luke sent you. Luke's writer Brett's gonna be on the show on Monday. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you go watch some title fights this weekend. Make sure you root for Cincinnati to get in the college football playoff. And let's.
Yeah, you hit everything.
Yeah.
Oh no, you froze again, dude.
Son of a bitch! What is going on?
Ah shit, we lost connection.
No. Hold on. Am I back?
Hello?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
All right, sweet. All right, sweet. So we'll make this quick. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick. Fantasy, I stumbled into the playoffs. You're going to be the 7th seed. You're playing the guy you just played last week, and I'm playing the guy who stopped me by 40. That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. I believe he beat me last week, but I should be. I can't remember.
No, you stomped him.
Yeah, I should do it again.
You know you are now the lineal champion of the league, right?
I don't know what that means.
Lineal means man who beat the man who beat the man. So last year, the guy who won the first league title, he was established as the man, right? Lineal champion. He loses to Dylan, who lost to Martin, and you beat Martin. You are officially the lineal champion of the league. So, I mean, you're kind of, I don't know, man. Everything you're involved in now is a title match. How's that feel?
I mean, obviously, I demand my respect. I'm the best player in the league, and I'm going to be the best player in the league for a long time.
I mean, that's fucking bold.
Hey.
I'm just saying, Cinderella's got his dancing shoes on, and he's hitting the dance floor ready to tap, man. He is coming, and he's gonna drop Jesse like a sack of bricks this week, man. I feel bad for the kid. I might drop 150 on him this week.
Hey, whatever you got to do to make yourself feel better. Doesn't matter. I'm winning every single matchup all the way through.
I'm 4 games away from winning a world title. I'm just saying.
We all are.
I've got 11 pounds of crystal, finest crystal on the planet that's got my name on it. And I'm just saying, look out for Gang this December. We're going to make it a December to remember. Just remember that.
Yeah, book that. He's going to lose more games in December than the Rangers are going to lose all year. So
it's single elimination, by the way, folks.
Yeah. Oh shit! I about to fall out of my seat. All right. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked. That's fine. But yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up. Check this out. Until then, damn. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're having any more connection issues, guys. I'm Keanan Allstott. That's Luke Parrish. We are around the leagues. Come back on Monday. Stay safe, and until then, make sure my picks hit. Make sure his don't. Let's win this bitch. And y'all take it easy now. You hear?
Yes, sir. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back. 2 shows next week. Enjoy them both.
Yes, sir.
Until then, just eat some mac and cheese.
Yes, sir. Hey.
All right. Peace out, guys.